I do absolutely recognize that there are many leagues, not just hockey, that are dependent on receipts at the gate to keep them going, and so that is a challenge that we're all facing. I can't say right now whether having fans in seats is something that will be possible in the fall. What I will tell you is I'm part of a WHO group that has been developing guidance around this, including guidance that's been used by the Bundesliga and other leagues around the world as they are looking at having fans in and how that could be done in a way that minimizes crowds and makes sure that there are ability for people to maintain a safe distance, etc. So those things are being looked at around the world, and we'll be looking at them, of course, here in Canada and in BC as well. I can't predict what we're going to be like in the fall, but it is hopeful that that might be an option at some point.
I think you're right. I think that a lot of the discussion of the NBA and the NHL and everything else ignores the fact that, as you say, most sports that depend on gate receipts are severely affected by the limits we have on gatherings right now, and there's certainly no clear idea of when such limits on gatherings would be lifted, as Dr. Henry has said on a number of occasions. But obviously, the impact of that on sports leagues like the WHL, on communities like Prince George and Victoria and Kamloops and Kelowna, and others across Western Canada and across the country is significant. But I think it's fair to say that we understand the impact of those limits on sports leagues, on arts groups, and on others, and that they're a real challenge. But I also would say, and continue to say, that the sacrifice people continue to have to make, not being able to visit family members in care, not being able to do all kinds of things that are normal. These are the realities of the times that we're in. We all know, if we're talking about sports around the world, the impact on transmission in some countries of sporting events, which has been well reported and well understood. So this is a real challenge for us. People in BC love the WHL, but I would say that the rules that we're talking about, which have to be applied fairly and to everybody, are there for the safety of everybody, and that's why we're continuing. It's not to ruin anybody's fun or anyone's particular organization or circumstance. They're there because we're in a world pandemic where there's no vaccine and no cure.
Yes, New Zealand was allowing everything to go back to what it was pre-COVID because they were under the impression that they no longer had any active cases on the island. But as we know, that recently they've detected 2 people who've had active cases. So we'll see what happens there.